Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Peter Vega, your facilitator today for the Texas Association for College Admissions Counseling Conference. We have 6 wonderful presenters today who will be sharing more information about their colleges. For some homework to get us started, if you have any questions for the counselors, please put that in the Q&A section of your Zoom. At the bottom, you'll find the Q&A button, and you can ask your questions for the counselors there. The counselors will respond through that feature as well, so look out for the answers on the Q&A. Your camera and your microphones are off, so a reminder. So that's important to note as you ask your questions in the Q&A. And we have other presentations today, other time slots available. Reminder to check that out. These are not the only college that are available to hear from. And this recording will be shared at the end. We will make it available at strivescan.com/Texas. And with that, I will get us started and introduce our first presenter. And today, to confirm, today we have a list of 6 presenters. So the University of Michigan will start us off. Northern Michigan University will be up next. Michigan State University, Macalester College, Kettering University, and Kalamazoo College. Excellent. So we will kick off with the University of Michigan.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Jenna McCormick. I am an admissions counselor from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I'm very excited to talk to you guys about the University of Michigan really quickly. And I will also have some contact information at the end of the presentation in case anyone has any questions. So just starting off with our undergraduate population, the University of Michigan does have about 30,000 undergraduate students, and this map is showing you where all of our students are coming from. So we are an institution that has students from all 50 states in over 120 countries. And of the undergraduate population, about 12% of our students identify as first generation, and there are multiple resources available for our first generation students to ensure your success as a student at Michigan. If you look at Texas, you see that we have about 300 students that come to the university each year. That's not the number that we admit. We don't have any types of quotas, but hopefully you guys will be in that number when you do apply to the university. Academically, we are a powerhouse. We have 19 schools and colleges that make up the University of Michigan. And of the 19 schools and colleges, there are 14 available to undergraduate students. Of the 14, there are 7 that admit first-year students, which is what you will be at the time of application. So on your application, when you're applying to the University of Michigan, you're not applying to the university as a whole. You're actually choosing a school or college to be considered for on your application. We offer over 280 different degree programs, and we also have a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. I'm not going to paint a rosy picture for you. About 87% of our first year courses do have more than 100 students, or less than 100 students. So we do want to make sure that we are ensuring that you have a smaller environment when you do take your courses at the University of Michigan. So when you are taking courses like Intro to Biology, Intro to Chemistry, those are going to be large lecture style courses, and they will be about 400 students in those lecture halls, but there are mandatory discussion sections that you will have to attend that are taught by a graduate student instructor, and they're broken down to about 20 to 30 of your fellow peers. So that way you get that more intimate environment to ask questions and really have that smaller environment to help make campus feel small. These are the 7 schools and colleges that do admit first-year students. So on your application, you'll just be choosing one of these to be considered for. When you apply to the University of Michigan, you can choose either the common application or the coalition application. We are members of both organizations. We don't have a preference, so whichever one you choose will be the one that we will review. Speaking about the University of Michigan in terms of research, we are the #1 public research institution in the United States. We have about 1,300 students that participate in research each year. And so we have a program called UROP, which is the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program. This is something that will allow you to begin conducting research your first year if you are admitted to the UROP program. We also have students who are doing independent research with their professors. So if you're not admitted to the UROP program, there are plenty of ways to do research, no matter what your major is. In terms of residence life, we don't require our first year students to live on campus, but about 97% of our students do live on campus during their first year. So we do highly encourage it and recommend it. And we also have 22 different living and learning programs, which we call MLCs or Michigan Learning Communities. And the purpose for these MLCs is to allow you all to meet students with similar interests academically and personally, and you can live and study together with them. In terms of organizations, we have so many student organizations. We have over 1,600, ranging from an origami club to a Game of Thrones club, a zombie apocalypse club. We have different community service organizations. We do have Greek life. We have professional organizations for business and engineering. And then we also have over 30 different student entrepreneur groups as well. So no matter what your interests are, there is a club for you at Michigan, and they're always welcoming and ready for new members to join their organizations. In terms of financial aid, all of our students are automatically considered for merit-based aid when you apply. However, we do not offer a lot of merit-based scholarships because we are an institution that meets 100% of demonstrated need. So for some of these merit-based scholarships, you will have to actually apply for them and you won't be automatically considered. So we do encourage you to complete your financial aid forms, which is the FAFSA, and we also require the CSS profile. And we do want you to get those documents in as soon as possible. The university does give out large and competitive financial aid packages. And last year we did, or in 2019, we did award over $259 million in grants and scholarships. So getting those financial aid documents is going to be really important. I did list our financial aid information here in case you do have questions regarding financial aid. And then finally, I do want to leave you with a few admissions resources. There's my picture, there's my name and my email. So if you do have any questions at all about the University of Michigan that are admissions related, please let me know. I also listed our social media handles here so that you can keep up with our updates and day-to-day information that is happening. And then finally, we encourage you to take advantage of our virtual resources. We do have virtual information sessions and ways for you to meet up with students and learn more about the University of Michigan. So with that being said, thank you so much for your time and listening about the University of Michigan. And as always, go blue.
Excellent, thank you so much. Next up, Northern Michigan University.
Hello, everybody. My name is Erica. I'm from Northern Michigan University. I'm really glad you guys are here, so thanks for coming today. Northern is located in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So we are right on the shores of Lake Superior, and our natural setting makes for amazing outdoor experiences, academic and recreational, all year round. So many of our students love the outdoors, but you don't have to in order to thrive here. We offer flights, direct flights in from Minneapolis, Detroit, and Chicago. And Marquette is a safe, friendly, and welcoming place that celebrates all 4 seasons. So that's important to know. So we are a mid-sized institution. So we have, we're large enough where we have a lot of programs to choose from, and a strong alumni network, connections around the world, nice facilities, but small enough where you have small class sizes and your professors know your name. So the average class size is about 28. Average lab and seminar sizes are about 15. This all gives your professors the opportunity to get to know you on a personal level, and those close personal relationships result in mentorship and guidance as you move through your experience at Northern and onto whatever it is you're going to do next, whether that's grad school or joining the professional world. So you do offer just over 170 different programs. Some of our popular programs are related to our natural setting. So things like fisheries and wildlife management, environmental studies and sustainability. but also things like nursing, art and design, criminal justice, sports science, large array of business programs, and medicinal plant chemistry, which is the first program of its kind in the nation. And we also offer indoor agriculture, which complements that really nicely. So regardless of what you're studying, you're going to get a hands-on experience right away to help you find out what it is that you love so you can get more specific, or what it is that you hate so you can change your mind and shift to the right program. You're working with real people in real settings, real professional settings with real equipment, resources in the real world. And the idea is that you leave Northern well prepared to take your next steps in grad school or whatever it is you decide to do professionally, personally. So for students who are looking at this fall, I did want to mention Northern was face-to-face in the fall semester as well as this current semester for many of our courses, and we've made that a priority for our incoming first-year students. So let's talk about student life. I already mentioned that students are outside all year round. They're hiking, they're biking, they're rock climbing, ice climbing, surfing, sailing, camping, but there's tons to do inside too. So we have over 300 student organizations to get involved in, academic and non-academic. We offer leadership programs, some of which are credit bearing and come with a stipend. And there are also community service and volunteer opportunities. And all these are a huge part of student identity at Northern. So of course, under normal circumstances, there are also events that are happening on campus that are going to keep you busy as a spectator or participant. So concerts, art events, sports ranging from esports to football, you name it. There's a lot going on. What's most important to us at Northern in our community is that we're a safe and welcoming community, regardless of your experience, your background, your identity, or your beliefs. Let's talk about money quickly. I know this is really important, especially right now amidst a pandemic. So for our out-of-state students, our tuition and fees, room and board amount to about $28,300 per year. The average financial aid package for our out-of-state students is around $19,400. That can consist of some of our merit-based scholarships, our National Academic Award, that brings that out-of-state tuition rate closer to in-state, as well as our Wildcat Achievement Awards. This year, we're awarding these with and without test scores, but we're now test blind. So that means that we are not going to be looking at test scores when we award scholarships or make admission decisions starting this fall. We also offer competitive scholarship opportunities, including our Presidential Scholars Competition, which ranges from $1,000 a year to a full ride. And then there are other free money opportunities as well. So we'd really love for you to come visit. Northern, we're offering virtual visit opportunities as well as on-campus visit opportunities. We just opened up all the way through August. And have limited capacity, but are trying to accommodate that in a really socially distanced, safe way. But we think that if you come and check this place out, you'll figure out if this is the right place for you or not. And what I'll say is that I and everybody that is presenting here wants you to find the school that's the right fit for you. And there is one of those schools out there. And visiting is a great way to figure that out, if that's possible. So if you want to get some more information about Northern, you can scan this QR code here. I'm also going to put my information in the chat. But again, my name is Erica and I work with students from Texas. So my job is to help you through this process. So please feel free to use me.
Thank you so much, Erica. Next up, we have Michigan State University.
Awesome. Thank you so much. My name is Aspen Arnold, and I am one of the regional admissions counselors for Michigan State. I'm actually regionally located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so get to spend all of my time here in Texas working specifically with Texas students. Michigan State is a large public institution located in East Lansing. With just under 50,000 total students on our campus, MSU is one of the 10 largest universities in the nation. We really like to think that our large size means access to big opportunities. Our student body is made up of students from all 50 states, yes, including Texas, and more than 140 different countries. Last year, 25% of our incoming class identified as first-generation college students. And that's so significant to us because we were the nation's pioneer land-grant institution. So we were really founded with the fundamental mission of access and inclusion. And that student body and incoming class last year, including the most diverse freshman class last year, are just indicative of us staying true to that Michigan mission. There we go. Now I'm switching to talk about Michigan. Like I said, we're centrally located in East Lansing. From campus, it's easy to reach the beaches of Lake Michigan and find areas to hike, kayak, and even ski or snowboard. That doesn't mean we're a truly rural campus. We're only 3 miles from Lansing, which is the capital of Michigan, and only about an hour and a half outside of Detroit. So unlike, well, Michigan's a big state like Texas, but not quite as big with our central location in the Midwest. We're only 4 hours from Chicago, which is one of our biggest destinations for alumni, and students will take advantage of the opportunity to take internships. We have an Amtrak train that takes students from our campus to downtown Chicago, and that's a great opportunity for career advancement. This is a part that I think it's really important for me to point out again, as you heard from our counterparts down in up in northern Michigan, that you do get a full 4 seasons in Michigan. So it is a stark difference from what we experience here in Texas, but I find that my Texas students are really excited to experience a new climate. Our campus itself is located on the banks of the Red Cedar River. Campus is home to botanical gardens, art museums, performing arts venues, Big Ten athletics, recreation sports facilities, and we even have our own hotel. So obviously there's quite a lot to do on our campus. Students can choose from over 900 student organizations to get involved, and those are going to span from multicultural organizations, sororities and fraternities, intramural sports, academic clubs to help you prepare for your career, and service learning projects. You'll be exposed to all of these different opportunities to get involved as soon as you step foot on our campus. As far as academics go, we're a phenomenal destination for students, whether you're completely undecided about your degree path, have comfortably declared a major, or you even fall somewhere in between. We offer over 200 majors across 17 different degree granting colleges. When I'm working with Texas students, I often see them drawn to us for our Eli Broad College of Business, our College of Engineering, or our College of Natural Science and their associated pre-health programs. You'll also find our campus is home to a law school, as well as 3 medical schools, including one of the top veterinary programs in the nation. As a top 100 global university, we're home to 35 undergraduate programs that rank in the top 25 nationally. I really like to point out to students that while we do boast these high-ranking programs, what makes MSU's academics really unique for a large public institution is the flexibility that we allow our students. Many of our students will double major or create their own academic paths that really collaborate across many different disciplines. Most of our experiences, obviously there's a lot of experiences that happen inside the classroom, but a lot of learning in college happens outside of the classroom. We break down our programs so that you experience the support you would expect at a smaller institution. We're known for a top-ranked entrepreneurship program available to all of our students. 36% of our undergrads will participate in undergraduate research, and 1 in 3 of our incoming students will participate in education abroad while they're at MSU. As Texas students, you'll actually receive an automatic scholarship to take advantage of one of our abroad programs while you're a Spartan. I'm going to spend my last couple seconds talking about our admissions process. Our application will go live for seniors in early August. You can find our application on our website, as well as the Common App and the Coalition app. We do a holistic review of students. So we're looking specifically at you in the context of your high school. What courses did you take and how did you do with those challenges? We require an essay. However, we are test optional for the next 5 years. So no need to worry about those tests if you don't want to send them in. I always encourage Texas students to apply by November 1st for maximum scholarship consideration, as well as for consideration for our honors college. And we have a pretty lucrative out-of-state scholarship program, and so that is the best way to get the most money from us. We are closed right now for on-campus tours, but we do offer some great virtual experiences. And like I said, I am in Texas and would be happy to connect with you all virtually. I will share my information in the chat and we'll look for you via email. That is on my time, so go green.
Perfect, thank you so much. A reminder to everyone, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature. Next up, we have Macalester College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jace Riggin. I use he, him, as well as they, them pronouns. I'm an admission officer here at Macalester College, and I work with students from Texas. So excited that you've joined us for the program today. Macalester is a highly selective, small liberal arts college located in Minnesota. We're about 2,200 students, and we are in the heart of the Twin Cities metropolitan area. It's a metroplex of about 3.5 million people. Macalester is a mission-driven institution, and we're grounded in our values of academic excellence, multiculturalism, internationalism, as well as service to society. We're not afraid to say who we are, and in fact, our mission and our ethos are the primary reason why many Macalester students choose to apply and ultimately enroll at Mac. It is because of our location that Macalester is one of very few liberal arts colleges located in an urban area in our country. Our campus is about 4 miles away from downtown St. Paul and about 7 miles away from downtown Minneapolis. That's where I live. I live over on the Minneapolis side of the river. Public transit is fantastic. You can zip between the two downtowns in no time. I've been to Austin. Our traffic is a breeze compared to Austin traffic. You'll love it. Although our student body, like I mentioned, is 2,200 students, our students have access to about 200 plus internship sites within just 8 miles of our campus. An international airport is just under 10 miles away, a 20-minute ride on the light rail, and we have an array of Fortune 500 companies. I'm sure you're familiar with Target as well as 3M. You'll notice on my slide a few of our famous Minnesota musicians. Prince, as well as Bob Dylan and Lizzo, all have their roots in Minnesota. I know the Houstonians are saying, what are you talking about? Yes, we claim Lizzo for her start at a recording studio in downtown Minneapolis and her frequent performance at First Avenue in downtown Minneapolis, where Prince frequently performed before his death. We have a killer punk scene in the Twin Cities, and our music venues and festivals are truly fantastic. I can rant and rave about the Twin Cities for a long time, but we should probably talk about Macalester. Things are a little different here. Internationalism and global citizenship are not new values to us. Macalester's longstanding and enduring commitment to this part of our mission trace all the way back to our President Turk, who was a World War II veteran and raised the UN flag from our central flagpole where it has flown since 1950. Thinking about our campus community, currently 15% of our student body are international students. There are 98 countries of citizenship represented. Our student body collectively speaks 75 different languages. And in the past few incoming classes, roughly 35% of our US students identified as Black, Indigenous, or as people of color. In our incoming class, the class of 2024, that number was 41%. Additionally, 16% of all Macalester students are the first in their families to ever attend Macalester. I'd like to add that our LGBTQ+ community is vibrant. The Twin Cities is a great place for internships as well as career exploration while you're attending Macalester. We are home to the state capitol and numerous nonprofit organizations, NGOs, as well as community-based groups. Macalester offers, on average, 200 different academic for-credit internship sites in the Twin Cities every year. Internships, civic engagement, and off-campus work are available to students during the academic year, but we also have various paid opportunities for our students in the summer as well. Highlight research opportunities, particularly within our STEM community. I want you to note that 40% of all of our STEM majors, or 40% of all of our majors at Macalester are STEM majors, and 60% of those students do conduct research. That 80% figure that you see is all of our students. Research is not limited to only STEM students. A particular program that highlights this is our Mayo Innovation Scholars Program. This puts our students in teams down at one of the nation's premier medical and research facilities, the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Students work with other groups of students from different institutions on marketing projects, as well as research and development with different scientists and doctors. At Macalester, you have 39 majors, 40 minors, and 10 concentrations to choose from. Don't worry, you won't do it alone. You have an academic advisor at Macalester, which is a professor within your first year course who will help you navigate through your first year and to declare your major once you're ready during your sophomore or the very beginning of your junior year. It's super easy to get involved at Mac with over 100 plus different student organizations and clubs. Everyone can be involved in theater, dance, as well as music and the arts without regard to their chosen major. We're an NCAA Division III institution, and we provide various opportunities for our students to get involved in athletics in addition to academics. Want to note some of our application rounds. We are an institution that offers early decision binding deadlines. We have 2 different rounds of early decisions for students to choose as they move through their decision process. A non-binding early action round. Again, the benefits of early decision and early action are expanded admission rates. A regular decision round, and I'd like to note that we are a QuestBridge partner. This offers students of high academic ability the chance at a full ride scholarship to 30 plus of the nation's finest colleges and universities. I have just a few moments left. I want to turn on outcome and return on education at Macalester. Within 6 months of graduating, 95% of all of our students are placed within a job or graduate school or within a volunteer program like the Peace Corps. And on average, 60% of all Macalester students are in the process of pursuing an advanced degree or have achieved a master's or doctoral degree within 5 years of leaving Macalester College. Our students are lifelong learners. If you have any questions, pop them into the Q&A or send them to my email. Take care, everyone.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Next up, we have Kettering University.
Good evening. My name is Delynn Pollock, and I'm an admissions counselor and co-op manager here at Kettering University. If you would like to be included on our mailing list, I have a QR code that you can use to make that happen. I will also have this displayed at the end of my presentation as well. So Kettering University is laser focused on STEM and business education. You can see in the list of degree programs that we are very STEM oriented, very heavily geared towards engineering. Our business management program actually is very industry based as well. We also have a pre-med option that you can add on to the degrees if you have an interest in the medical field as well. It's a nice combination that engineering and anything in the medical field. There's a lot of medical device development going on, and just a really nice combination, something to think about, but we're in many different industries. Something that sets Kettering apart very much is the fact that we are a 100% cooperative education university. So what do I mean by that? There's a difference between co-op and internships. A lot of students are familiar with the idea of internships, and a lot of schools do offer internships. Internships are typically something that it's not a requirement of your graduation. Usually they're towards the end of your degree program, and quite often it's something that you need to find on your own. Co-op is different at Kettering in that it is completely and totally integrated into the academic program. Our students actually rotate 3 months of on-campus full-time schooling with 3 months of full-time work. So they go back and forth every 3 months. We actually have 2 student bodies, while one is at school, the other one is at work. And these are actually jobs. This isn't a placement. This is an actual employment situation. The companies get involved with Kettering because it's a talent pipeline for them. They have the opportunity to interact with these highly qualified, high potential students very early on. Most of the time, the students stay with the same company throughout the program, beginning as early as their freshman year. That gives the companies a chance to really get to know those students. And at graduation, most of the companies offer full-time employment to the students. So the students are having a chance to try out that degree. Is it really for me? Is it what I'm wanting to do? They're also getting a chance to immediately apply what they've been learning in the classroom in a real world setting. And these are real jobs, as I said. So they're also earning money as they're going through the program. So the average student is making between $45,000 and $70,000 throughout the course of the program, which can be then used back towards tuition. So very helpful, very much a win-win situation for the students and for the companies. So these are just some of the companies that we work with. We are in a lot of different industries. We actually started life as General Motors Institute. We were GM's engineering school. We're no longer owned by GM, but we still have a lot of students who co-op with GM. Mechanical engineering is our biggest program, and we have a lot of students who are interested in automotive engineering and automotive design, but we're in a lot of different industries. Any place where you would find an engineer, you're going to find probably a Kettering student. We are recognized #1 nationally for career prep, because of that hands-on experience our students get, the fact that our students are able to develop those soft skills that companies talk so much about all the time, the people skills, the organizational skills. Our students are able to gain those skills as they're going through the program. The average student, when they graduate, is earning $85,000 a year, and that just shows that the return on investment for Kettering is immediate. In terms of what we're looking for strong math science students. We use either the Common App or the Kettering app. Both are free for us. And we are looking for students to have completed at least 2 years of algebra, a year of geometry, semester of trig. We like to see some calculus. You need to have at least 2 years of lab science. One of those must be physics or chemistry. Both are recommended, and 3 years of English. At this point, we are test optional. We will consider test scores if you submit them, but they are not required this year, and they will not be required for next year incoming class. What happens in the future remains to be seen, but at this point we are test optional. We do not require a letter of recommendation. However, again, that's something that we will consider, and a lot of students will submit letters of recommendation. Our students are required to live on campus their first year, and they live in Thompson Hall. It's actually a great bonding experience for our students. We have a very rigorous academic program. What you would be doing in 15 to 16 weeks at a typical university, you're going to be doing at Kettering in 10 weeks. So all of the students are very focused, very mature, and it's a smaller campus. So you see a lot of camaraderie, you see a lot of working together. You do not have to apply to get into the engineering school. Once you're accepted, you're in it. So there is a lot of working together. In terms of activities on campus, a good proportion of our students are involved with Greek life, about 40% of our students. But if that's not your thing, we have lots of clubs and professional organizations, intramural sports. So there's a lot going on our campus. In terms of our facilities, we have hands-on in the workplace, but we also have a lot of hands-on on campus. We have about 27,000 feet of lab and research space. We are predominantly an undergraduate institution, so our undergrad students are involved in research, and we have some unique labs for an undergrad institution. So we have a crash test lab, we have this mobility research center where students are involved in autonomous vehicle research, so just some great opportunities that are very unique. We have a FIRST Robotics Community Center, so if you are someone who's come through a robotics program, that's something that you continue being involved with. We have the Society of Automotive Engineering student group that competes all over the country very competitively. So a lot going on our campus, very hands-on. We are located in Flint, Michigan, which is the birthplace of the automotive industry. We're very proud of that heritage, and we're very proud of being part of this community that's really going through quite a revitalization. So a lot going on here, a lot of history, and we're so proud to be part of all of that. So again, here is the QR code if you'd like to have some more information about Kettering. One thing I will recommend, particularly for those of you who are underclassmen, we do have a lot of pre-college programming, and whether it's at Kettering or other schools, definitely take advantage of that pre-college programming. A lot of that is being offered virtually these days, and a great way for you to find out more about a college. So thank you so much for your time this evening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dylan. I think there is also a question in the Q&A for you to answer on there as well. Excellent. And last but not least, we will have Kalamazoo College. To know, we may have a couple of minutes afterwards to answer a few questions. So we'll ask the presenters to turn on their videos after this, but go ahead, take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha. I am an admission counselor from Kalamazoo College and an alum of the college. So I've been through this whole experience myself. Very briefly, a screenshot. Kalamazoo College is a small private liberal arts college in Southwest Michigan. We have about 1,500 students, so that kind of shakes up to being about 400 for each grade level. Classroom size-wise, on average, is about 18 students. We like to keep our classrooms really small. As a student, I was in classes of 4 students, and I had as big as 30. So that's kind of the range, but I won't get any bigger than that because we really like to have that one-on-one attention and for you to be able to talk with your peers and professor really awesomely. So that's why our student-to-faculty ratio is 13:1. We have a 91% first year retention rate, which is really awesome because that just tells us after the first year, students do tend to come back, and it puts our graduation rate at 72% for 4 years. There's a lot that we really pack into those 4 years, so it's pretty hard to be done early or stay a lot later. Most students are really here for that 4 year and for that K plan that I'll talk about a little bit later. But probably a question also is, where is Kalamazoo? So when I say Southwest Michigan, there we are in Little Star. We are in a really awesome location as big city wise. We're about 2.5 hours from Chicago and Detroit with an Amtrak and an airport that goes both ways. Otherwise, the city of Kalamazoo is really cool because it is a small city. 250,000 people in the greater population, but there's also a really good chunk of a college student population in Kalamazoo because there are 3 colleges in town, us included. So that also means that there's a ton for the college age student to do, a ton of resources, ton of internship opportunities, just a lot of really awesome things around. Without being too big of a city, there is a lot to do, but I wouldn't call us anything near a big city. The K plan, which I mentioned really briefly, is our really just what every student goes through. To what we're known for. We've been developing this plan since the 1950s. So although there's been a lot of changes, when this was introduced, it's really been a big part of the Kalamazoo College experience. It is made up of these 4 parts, which start with your academics. We have an open curriculum here. So that means we don't have any general education courses. If you're the type of student who doesn't know what you want to study right away, there is plenty of time for you to figure it out here and kind of try a bunch of different courses because you don't have to worry about fulfilling any of those general education requirements. If you know exactly what you want to study, you can also go ahead and just start taking those courses right away and get that major done early and then maybe discover something else. It really works for whatever type of academics you're interested in. The second portion is this emphasis on hands-on education. So we just really want you to have real world experiences and get your hands dirty. Sometimes literally some of our classrooms are have inside and outside of class components so that you can go and get real experiences and then come back and apply them to what you're studying and what you're researching. The third component of this is our international intercultural portion. We are a really big study abroad school. About 70% of our students will typically study abroad or away in one of our domestic programs during their time here. For on average, about 6 months is our biggest program. It is built into our plan. So if you want to go abroad, and that's really important, it is really easy to do that. All your financial aid and scholarship also transfers over. You don't have to go, but we do really highly encourage it. Again, as it is built into our plan, we want our students to get that experience. And then the last part of the plan kind of ends out with this independent scholarship portion. We have this thing called a SIP, so a senior individualized project. It's basically a senior thesis, so everyone has to write one here, but they're all really, really different. So sometimes people will like produce albums, or they'll write plays and direct them, or they'll do really awesome research and write 100, 200 pages about a very specific topic that they're interested in. But with this 4-part, I went through that a little quickly, I know, but every student is going to look really different. That's a really cool thing about the K plan, is even though we have these 4 parts of the college kind of frames, yours is going to look super unique to you because you're the one shaping how it's going to look and what you're going to do with it. On the other side of that, we also have some awesome student organizations. It is important to note we don't have any Greek life here, and so student organizations kind of take over that. We have over 70 at the moment, and if there's not one that you're interested in, you can always start one. It's super easy here. Everything is student run, even the committee that you need to go and kind of get that approved to start a new one. And so a lot of really awesome opportunities that stem from like cultural to political to religious, anything that you're interested in, you can really find a really awesome support of students here. If you're an athlete, we have athletics here. We're a D3 school, so that means we don't have any scholarships, unfortunately, but you do have all the awesome opportunities of every other student, everything in the K plan, the ability to study abroad, all those things. About 24% of our students are athletes, so it's not all of them, but there is a good amount. Being a smaller school too, you'll probably know everyone on the team if you watch a game, so that's kind of the culture here, which is nice. Just some quick things about our application process. We are exclusively on the Common app. So you just go in and click our name and we'll get it. The rounds here you can find online. We have two main ones, and we recommend that if you finish your application by November 1st to submit it then so that you have a little bit more time. But there is another one in January. It's also good to note that we have been test optional since 2015. So we have no intention to go back to requiring test scores. I know that's a big question right now, but we've seen a really positive change with it, and we're going to continue being test optional. If you do want to submit your test scores, we will look at them, but they do not factor into your scholarship or your admission to Kalamazoo College. With a little bit of scholarship financial aid really quick, we do have two main parts of the merit-based and the need-based. With the merit-based, all applications are automatically going to be reviewed for a merit-based scholarship, which is really awesome. We look at your GPA, your curriculum, and the essay you write, and that will determine this amount. Automatically renews over your 4 years, and you don't even have to accept it, which is awesome. The need-based side, we do take the FAFSA, only the FAFSA. We don't have the CSS profile or anything else. So we highly recommend that you submit that and then get reviewed for any of our institutional grants as well. 98% of our students do receive some form of financial aid and or scholarship. So that's a good amount. You won't know until you kind of do all this and apply, but it is a good, we'll sit down with you and kind of go through everything if you have any questions, but we do highly recommend, again, to submit the FAFSA. And that's all I have right here. And so if you're interested and you want to know more, just stay connected. I'm one of the counselors for Texas, so you can reach out to me as I'm an alum too, but just follow us on social media too to get a little bit more and see a little bit more what life looks at K College. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. We have only about 3 minutes left, but I can pose a quick question that I think everyone can answer pretty quickly. 1 second. So thank you for those who asked questions in the Q&A as well. And I just wanted to pose this question to wrap up the session today to each of the panelists. So do we want to go around and do a quick round of what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? We'll go backwards. We'll start from Kalamazoo. Go ahead.
Awesome. As an alum too, and a recent alum, my favorite one is called Day of Gracious Living, or Doggle. It's a big tradition that started when a tornado went through campus and kind of like canceled classes. So now it's just a day that people can live graciously. It's like a surprise day off. But the big tradition is kind of just going to the beach on that day. The bell tower's ring, everyone's really excited, and there's a whole like night of gracious living too. But it's just a nice day off in the springtime when the weather gets nice.
I think for our campus, probably one of the ones that I love most is our Make a Difference Day. So we have one day in the fall where you get together with a bunch of friends and you spend the day volunteering in the community, on campus, in different areas. So it's just this big campus-wide team building community experience.
I think for Kettering, one of the things that, we have lots of fun programming going on, but we have the First Robotics Community Center, which houses 13 area First Robotics teams. And so many of our students have come through robotics programs, so that when we host events on our campus, it is just this really exciting, feel-good time where you have the students, the faculty, community, high school students who are coming together for this exciting event. So those are always just a whole lot of fun, and it just really feels great. And it's great to see all the students really interacting at all levels.
From Macalester, my favorite event that I think we do is called First Thursday. All the students, faculty, and staff come together either outside or in the large multi-space or multi-purpose space, and we discuss a pressing issue of our time with our class president, the college president, and an alumni. And then we all get together and have lunch and get a new lunch bag for the year together.
I can jump in here. I think at the University of Michigan, my favorite event is called Fest-to-Fall. And this is where all 1,600 of our organizations come out and they come to the TACAC, which is the heart of our central campus. And they all come out and there's music playing, and they're just in time at the beginning of the fall semester. So the new first year students on campus can browse around and they can take a look at the different organizations that are interesting to them, and they can hopefully join some of those organizations that they have been planning on joining. So one of my favorite events.
Wonderful. Excellent. Yep. Go ahead.
Last but not least, right? No, I would say that my favorite tradition on campus right now is for our Sparty. Sparty is our mascot. It has been ranked one of the top mascots in the nation. And every year, the senior that has been Sparty finds a creative way to unmask themselves. So it is a big mystery which student is Sparty, and they have found really, really fun ways to create videos and share with their friends that they have been Sparty for the last 4 years.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining in that. And that concludes our session today. Thank you so much, panelists, and for our participants who joined, and for sharing your questions in the chat. Thank you so much. And we are done for the day. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Hey, Peter, do you want to hit end meeting for all? I'll meet you in the next one.
Got it.